really begins. For when the storm subsided and calm becomes the way, it's all about allowing it to stay. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease the struggle and love pours through your heart, it's all about allowing it to start. Now feel it warm and shining, new with promise, strong, undying love, different than any you have known. And now the seed is sown. It's all about allowing change to show, then living in the moment like it's all you'll ever know. And though it won't be easy, you can truly say you've tried, for it's all about allowing it inside. And now the seed is sown. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease the struggle and love pours through your heart, it was all about allowing. All about allowing it to start.
There's only one life, one love, one power, one source, one divine intelligence that is at the back of, inside of, around, within all that is. The original impulse of all that is seen and experienced, that is known, even that which is unaware of. It is that which energizes my life. It is that which causes me to be. And I recognize that I am that which it is, that I am an individuated center of love itself, of peace itself. So I most gladly speak my word for this service today, for our time together today. A word of love, a deepening of communion with that source that we call life, that we call God. A richening of relationship, a broadening of our giving, a deepening of our peace. As we move, as we're directed, as we're called to love and to be and express that in this world. And so I'm knowing that everyone that is listening to this prayer, that will hear the music, that will hear the teaching, that will hear the thoughts behind the thoughts, will be blessed today. And so it's with joy and love and a great thankfulness for all the good that is. I simply let this word go and let it be in that aspect of God that always says yes. And I let it be. And so it is. Hi, I am Lawrence Edwards, a ministerial intern here at the center. Here's today's affirmation from our Beyond 2020 spiritual book of affirmations. I am one with Spirit. I am enveloped in love, in comfortable strength, and in joyful energy.
Hello and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa's virtual Sunday service. I'm Jennifer Mann, licensed prayer practitioner for nearly 25 years now, and I'm very pleased to welcome you here today. You know, the Santa Rosa Center has a reputation for engendering a feeling of home when anyone enters our atmosphere. So I have an invitation for you today to call that feeling of home up as we connect in this virtual way, just remembering that we are connected whether we're physically together or not. So, you know, we have a website that gives all the information you would need about other ways to connect, whether it's classes or groups that meet online or resources for prayer. Anything you need is on our website, which is www.cslsr.org. We also have a Facebook page that you can check out. Both of those platforms do contain an opportunity to donate if you wish. You know, I feel such a gratitude for this place, even during this time, that I moved to donate just a little here and a little there, or whatever I can do. I invite you to do the same if you feel so moved. Again, thank you for being here today. We have a very special guest speaker today. Reverend Cynthia James is here. I first met her about 20 years ago, and she transformed my life. She taught a session at a gathering on the practice of visioning, which I had never heard anything about before and have used continuously for the rest of my life. She also filled the room with song. So many of us in her session were transformed that day. I think transformation is a key word for who and what she is. At that time, she was at the Agape Center in Los Angeles. She has since moved to Colorado, where she served as associate minister at the Mile High Center in Colorado. And now she has her very own foundation, which is called the Extraordinary Living Foundation. And she guides and trains and consults and meets with many kinds of people to help transform their lives to be exactly who they were born to be. She's also an award-winning author, among which there are a couple of books I'd like to mention. One's called What Will Set You Free? Another one's called Revealing Your Extraordinary Self. So I invite you to sit back, settle in, enjoy the prayer, the music, and the talk by Reverend Cynthia James. Thank you for being here.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you away I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved.
Hello, Santa Rosa. I am so happy to be with you. And thank you, Dr. Edward, for the invitation. And thank you for Tara for supporting this whole process. I love this community, and I love being with you in any way possible. I'd love to be there in person, but this is the next best thing. So my talk today is The Miracle is You. Albert Einstein said there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. I'm here to tell you that you are a miraculous unfolding. Everything that you are, have been, ever will be is divine substance, and it makes you delicious. It does not matter the family you were born into. It does not matter what challenges you had as a child. It does not matter who left you, who found you, who dissed you, who distracted you, or who made you lose your mind, right? You are a miraculous unfolding. In fact, you possess energy codes for healing. I can tell you this because it took me many, many years to remember that. Here's what I want you to know, that there are codes within you to help you remember. The thing is to decipher them. Everything that has happened in your life is encoded in your body, in your energy field. And accessing my codes, really was quite a journey, because I've been a spiritual seeker for a really long time. And the universe opens portals when you're ready to receive them. Because all the praying and the meditating I did, sometimes I wasn't ready to get the answers, right? But when I was, the doors open. And today I want to share a few things with you that might assist you in remembering what a miracle you are. And the first thing I want to tell you is that breath is a healing modality. There was a major portion of my life that I was challenged breathing. I mean, literally breathing. Sometimes it looked like anxiety attacks. Sometimes it was like my inability to get enough air when I sang. And it didn't matter what any doctor I went to said or what class I took. On occasion, I just couldn't breathe. And I began to ask Spirit for an understanding. And it didn't come right away. But one day I was on a trip with my husband, and I was meditating while he was in the shower. And all of a sudden, I began to see myself as a newborn, unable to breathe, being taken away from my mother and feeling really scared. And I came out of the meditation feeling as though, I was challenged breathing again. So I called my mom and I asked her, was that possible that that thing had happened? And after a moment of silence, she told me that when I was born, I couldn't breathe. And they took me away from her to keep me alive. But they kept her on a table for a really long time without any word about me. And what I realized is that that was a crucial time to be taken away from your mother, right? And it anchored within me not being safe in the universe, that I was alone, and it was connected to not breathing. And that pattern continued for years, right? So the revelation of that incident in my life made me more committed than ever to staying connected to the breath and my inner knowing. And for me, it became a healing tool in my life. So let me just tell you a little bit about deep breathing. It's effective in pumping lymph fluid throughout your body, which stimulates self healing. And the lymph fluid contains immune cells, which are targeted to fight bacteria and viruses. Very important at times like this, right? In addition, deep breathing shifts the production of brain chemicals to promote healing. So, breath work comes from a lot of different traditions, and it supports so many of the challenges that everyone experiences. It can reduce stress, it can create feelings of openness and love and peace and gratitude, clarity, communication, and connection. Breath work also helps release trauma or mental, physical, emotional blocks. It can support releasing depression and fear, grief, and anger. And during this time of COVID and national divisions and stress, my breath work continues to be a saving grace for me. So I would encourage you, as you move out from today, to find a way to connect to your breath. There's lots of teachers on the web and there's lots of videos on YouTube, to just teach you to breathe. I do breathing in the morning in my spiritual practice, and my husband and I do breathing before we go to bed at night. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is that the universe is here for you. I work with a lot of people. I coach a lot of people, and many have dreams and goals. But when they come to me, they express feeling stuck. They express feeling overwhelmed. And I feel that my job is to remind them of the truth of who they are. So I always tell them, hey, the universe is for you. In fact, it's conspiring for your happiness, your abundance, your creative expression. There are a myriad of ways in which you can step into your greatness. You live in a field of infinite possibilities and potentiality. And you are the one that has to ask for the change, for the shift. You're the one that has to take action and move in the direction of your dreams. You are the one that has to stop hiding and playing small. You're the one that has to claim your brilliance and your power because the time is now. And so I tell them, stop resisting your callings. You're going, whether you resist or not. Stop running because you're afraid. It's okay to be afraid. We're all afraid sometimes. And I say, if you got a big dream and you're not afraid, then the dream is too small. So stop withholding your gifts. And I also remind them, and I want to remind you today, that people are waiting for you to show up and shine. And yeah, life can be hard and we can suffer at times and we can be afraid at times. 2020 has been an amazing time for us to realize that this has been an unprecedented year. We could never have imagined the things that unfolded here. But what I say to that is, so what? The quantum field, the universe is filled with ways for you to succeed. And the only thing we're called to do is take one step at a time, open one door at a time, and lift our voice every day. I love this Ernest Holmes quote. I live in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways that I could not imagine. I know that this presence is always knowing, all powerful, and is always right with me. And I'm just going to ask you to breathe that in. Because if that's true, then the next thing I want to share with you is important. You can trust your inner guidance. I come from this line of a long line of prophetic dreamers. The women in my family had dreams and powerful visions, and they always trusted the messages, and that's how I grew up. Everyone was clear that we had an inner knowing that was powerful and strong and accurate. And I can't tell you how many times someone in my family knew about a pregnancy before the actual person knew it, or knew about an accident before they got the call, and it was normal. Now, here's the thing though, I learned pretty quickly you couldn't just tell that to everybody that you had a vision or a dream, or your family had visions or dreams, because uh, they didn't always uh, think that that was so fabulous. And that's where I began to distrust, because when people questioned my gift, some even called me a witch or said, "Well, how do you know that's true?" And in a way that was frightening, because they would tell me, "You can't see the future." And so I would just pull back the energy and I would hide my gift. It took me a long time to get to the knowing that we have an internal guidance system. We have a powerful GPS that lives within us, right? And some of us access it through dreams, and some of us access it through energy or information. Sometimes it's a thought that makes no logical sense, or an inner voice that directs us. It's really funny. I have this organization called AWE, the Academy of Women Emerging, and we work with women entrepreneurs. And we just had our graduation for this year. And one of the people, when they gave their speech, said, "I thought I was crazy to sign up with this. Money was a challenge and there was all kinds of stuff going on, but I had no idea how my life would change." Her business grew, her money grew, her faith grew, her life grew, all because she said yes to something that made no sense. It was an inner guidance that was so strong. And we all have that. We can all do that. In fact, we can do it through the heart. Science tells us that heart is connected to our inner knowing. It's intelligent and it informs the brain. And the organization Heart Math has done a ton of research on this, right? And I've been meditating for 35 years. And every day I pause and I steep myself in quietude. And what that has done for me is it's allowed me to listen more deeply and to trust my inner knowing. It's taught me to cease the endless monkey mind chatter, and be obedient to my inner guidance. So many years ago, I was interviewing for this job in corporate America, and I was conflicted. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do it, and the man interviewing me was not a metaphysician. In fact, sometimes he thought I was woo woo. However, he was wise, and he told me to listen to my heart before I made the decision. And I thought, well, that's an interesting statement. And so I left and I took a walk. And I asked myself if I should turn down the job. And when I asked the question if I should turn down the job, my heart constricted. So I took a breath and then I asked, should I take this job? And my heart opened. Well, I took that job and it changed the trajectory of my life. I learned so many wonderful things. I was in corporate communications. I got to do events. I mean, it opened a whole nother field for me. So here is what I want to say to you. I'm not special. We all have inner guidance and we're all connected to a universal field. And it's a field of knowing and potentiality. And our only job, I believe, is to learn to access it, to listen, and to trust that guidance. Our minds can lead us down rabbit holes and unending swirls. So if you're not meditating or don't think you know how to meditate, I'm going to encourage you to start, because it's not about clearing your mind. It's about allowing yourself to become still. Breath helps with that. Sometimes music helps with that. There are moving meditations. Walking labyrinths is a meditation. Find ways that support you in becoming still. Some people just sit by a tree because they really feel nature and it allows them to become still. Um, I created guided meditations for my clients and for people that I work with to support them, and because sometimes they just need guidance, right? So I'm going to invite you to become friendly with your heart. And I'm going to invite you to practice asking questions of your heart. You know, is this the right thing for me? Who are my strategic alliances? If this moment is answered prayer, what's next? And then see what happens with your heart, right? If it constricts, pause, get still, and ask for more guidance. I don't move to make a decision or do anything until my heart opens. So learning to trust your inner guidance will take practice, but I promise that if you do this, your whole life will become more harmonic, more abundant, and I'm living proof. The third thing I want to tell you today is to raise your frequency. Um, there's an author named Amit Ray, and the book is Meditation Insights and Inspirations. And this is what Amit says about frequency. It does not matter how long you are spending on earth, how much money you have gathered, or how much attention you have received. It is the amount of positive vibration you have radiated in life that matters. So we are all vibrating energetically. We all have a frequency. The lower the frequency, the more negative, dense energy we're experiencing, the more negative self-talk we're experiencing. And the higher the frequency, the more light, the more joy, the more freedom we experience. And that's mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Everything is energy and information. And we transmit energy, and it can be seen and it can be felt because it comes from our thoughts, it comes from our beliefs, it comes from our behaviors. And people know it, which is why you can be in a certain place and think you're hiding something and walk into the house and somebody will ask you what's wrong, right? Or somebody that you have felt close to, will start pulling away because you're in a space that you've been hiding. People feel frequency. You feel frequency. I know you can think of many people and many experiences where that's happened to you, right? So if it's true that we can feel that, then the thing to do is to become conscious of our thoughts and our mindsets and what's happening in the body. So here's a tip. Your body is a messenger, and it will tell you where you are in your frequency. I don't know about you, but I used to try to ignore my body's signals. And I was arrogant enough to think that I could use my mind to push through, fatigue and moments of exhaustion. And yeah, I could do it, and you can do that. However, the longer you push things down, the longer you push down feelings, avoid facing life, run from fears or in denial, the more dense the frequency becomes. So I want to give you some tools to raise your frequency. First thing I want to say is give thanks for all of the people that prepared you for this moment. Those are the people that have loved you, that are kind and compassionate, and they're also the great teachers that have caused you pain. Everyone has prepared you for this moment. Give thanks. And then align with positive people that live in an expectancy of goodness and are examples of high frequency living. I think Oprah talks about that all the time. It's like bring in the people that have a mental equivalent that you can stand in that energy. And then access your intuitive knowing. Your spiritual practice is essential. Pray, meditate, vision, journal, do yoga, qigong, tai chi. I don't care what you do, but breathe. Your inner world will be more alive when you consciously connect. I know that I cannot go a day without my spiritual practice because I'm not the greatest person without it. With it, I'm clearer and more powerful. I see things more clearly and I make decisions from the heart. So, beloveds, I want you to know that you're amazing and you're so loved, that God breathed its life into you. You are so miraculous that there's no one like you on the planet. You are an original imprint, non-repeatable, and you have been given the gift of life. You are miraculous. I want to end with a poem from the 13th century Persian poet Rumi, and it's called The Guest House. And I think it is so wonderful to tell us to embrace the miraculous nature that we are, right? This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. I'm going to just invite you to breathe that in. And I'd like you to move into prayer with me in this moment. And the way in which we're going to start this prayer is this: to remember and affirm that we are miraculous. We are miraculous unfoldings. That we are here by divine appointment. That we are emanations of the one power, the one presence, the one life. That the energy that we are is beautiful because we are necessary and important and we matter on this planet at this time. So miracles aren't something that are just outside. They are us. And so we just take this moment to remember that right where we are, beyond circumstances, beyond situations, beyond what has happened in 2020, we are standing in awareness that we are dedicated to raising the frequency of our lives, to bring light, more hope, more joy, more freedom, to create a harmonic convergence right where we are, because we are living as a high frequency, that we are breathing and opening our hearts to be more love, to be more kind, to be more compassionate, to see the goodness and expect the goodness everywhere. And so in this moment, we give thanks for this amazing Santa Rosa community. And we also give thanks for the fact that we can come together in community electronically, to love one another, to see one another, to honor one another, to lift up those that might be struggling in this community and in this world. We can lift up humanity. We can lift up this planet. We can lift up the water world, the animal kingdom, the plant world. We can lift up our leaders around the world and remind them that this is a time of awakening for humanity. And so wherever we are, whatever we're going through, we place any challenge, any fear, any doubt on the altar of light. And we recognize that there's nothing opposing God, therefore there is nothing opposing us. And so we surrender and we trust and we allow the goodness of God to flood us as a reminder, a soul reminder that we are held, that we are loved and guided in every single moment. We embrace the fact that we are miraculous unfoldings. So we simply let go, trust the divine, and allow it to be, and say, and so it is. Thank you, beloveds. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. You are so wonderful. And as the year ends, bring the light and love with you.
Hi there. I'm Jeff Basham, a prayer practitioner here at the Center, and I'd like to tell you about some of our upcoming events. First, classes are starting in mid-January. Our classes range from 3 weeks to 10 weeks long, and you can find out all the details on our website at www.cslsr.org. The early bird registration discount is only available through next Sunday. That's January the 3rd. And tomorrow, on Monday, December 28th at 1:30 p.m., Reverend Joyce Kenzel welcomes you to the third act. The third act gives seniors in our community an opportunity to share their ideas, their joys, and their concerns. And lunchtime learning is back on Wednesdays in January. Our community minister, Reverend Tara Steele, welcomes you at 12 noon each Wednesday in January to discuss The Book of the Soul by Mark Nepo. And coming up on December the 31st, this Friday, there's a very special world peace meditation. Join over 500 million people from an array of faith traditions and philosophies across all 7 continents, all meditating together at the same time to heal the world and establish peace. In our time zone, this happens at 4 a.m. on December the 31st. The Zoom link is on our website. And lastly, I'd like to remind you that practitioners are available for one-on-one confidential after-service prayer. These 5-minute sessions will remind you of the truth of your being in no uncertain terms. So go to our website at www.cslsr.org, click on After Service Prayer. Well, I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a great new year.
Hey everybody, it is David Alt, and I am your inaugural guest on what is called First Wednesdays, coming to you in January. And I'm just going to start deep. We're going to dive in, and we're going to talk about oneness. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult to accept there isn't an us and them. And yet, if we're going to be in integrity with our philosophy, we might as well just begin with some masterful work. So join me, will you, as we talk about practicing oneness. I'll see you then.
When you heard that your thoughts had the power to heal, what was your reaction? As the daughter of a doctor, I reacted with significant skepticism. Ironically, years before I had discovered science of mind, I had asked my surgeon to remind me under anesthesia that my cells knew exactly what to do to heal. And they did, surprising him with the speed of my recovery. Now, years later, I have a better understanding, thanks in part to books like Lissa Rankin's Mind Over Medicine. In February, I'll teach a 7-week class based in part on her book, as well as the meditation practices of Joe Dispenza. The class is Revealing Wholeness, beginning on February 12th. Let's continue to learn together.
I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe